Hi guys, George here, co-owner of the Ology Group. Quick message just to give you some insight into what we've been doing and how AI search is going to be changing the landscape and how we can obviously help you stay ahead. So I've been at SEO Week in New York. I just went to SEO Vibes in Poland. The most valuable part of that is obviously networking with people who are doing tons of testing as well. Types of people I've been keeping company with. I've got Nick, who's head of acquisitions from SEMrush. Been hanging out with Mikhail, who owns Surfer SEO. Spent time with Michael King from iPoor Rank, who, by the way, is very smart, and you should be reading everything he's putting out about AI. A lot of these guys are based in the States, so they're already seeing the impact of Gemini AI rolling out. Now, I'll go through the basics of what's happened, and I'm going to try and keep it as simple as possible. If you're an agency, you can then help to educate your clients. If you're a client, I'll keep it super easy so that you can understand what you need to do. Now, largely in part, you've got to think about three different user types. You've got Google, who currently has a physical index and still will have some kind of ledger of websites. You've got these AI bots, crawlers, that are going to be crawling over every page and answering queries. And then you've still got human beings. So whatever you're doing in terms of your content and your authority, you still have to send signals to support those three individual entities. Now, from all the data that I've gone through and the conversations that I've had, the most important takeaway points are the following. Digital PR is really, really important for building links on relevant, high profile tier one and tier two media sites. We know that Google's got a unique news freshness algorithm, which was seen last year in the leaks. So it's important that your brand is mentioned and linked to within the press as much as possible. Now, that relevancy is really, really key. So you need to make sure the coverage that you're getting relate to your industry. It can't be kind of very broad. You can't be reaching for a connection. There has to be a reason for you to be cited as the expert within those pieces. Lots of big studies that lean into ChatGPT, which is Bing and Microsoft owned. Those are actually referencing mentions in the press, not even just links. So even if you get into the press with a mention, your brand, the owner, whatever entity that you're associating with your business, if they are mentioned as an expert within the press and a solution for various different products, services, or whatever, that is helping to steer the chances of getting into these LLMs. Really, really important. And the third part is still your link building. So there will be lots of noise about link building over the next month or two, I suspect, but Google still has to have a physical index. And Google's index heavily relies on quality links to demonstrate experience and popularity and trust signals. The reason why Google's always going to have an index is because the amount of sheer energy and cost to crawl trillions of pages instantaneously for everybody who's searching is unfathomable. It's just not going to happen. So Google will still need to have some sort of physical record, and that physical record is going to be steered by user engagement, by authority signals, and then demonstrating quality through your content. So all of those things are really, really important. And on the content side, you have to break that content down into sections to serve those three people. So, easy to navigate, pushing customers through the funnel stage, research, comparison, and conversion. That's your human beings. You need to make sure that there's enough quality content on the website that demonstrates your experience and your authority. That's for Google's index. And you need to make sure that you're answering queries and potential questions as quickly and concisely at the top of the page as possible. That's for your LLMs, your large language models, your Gemini AI, and your ChatGPT. Mikhail, Surfer SEO owner, did a 20,000 point study on sites that were cited, and more often than not, you're being cited if you're being found within the top 50 words of a page, at least the top 200. So you need to make sure that your key money pages are answering queries really quickly and concisely at the top. Obviously, you need your schema data and your authorship and all the other bits and pieces laid out properly from a technical perspective. Those are the main takeaways. Now, the good news is that we've launched an authority service which is fully managed. Now, those authority services include targeted relevant digital PR, proper link building into pages with transactional and commercial intent, and then all the content and technical tunings that we talked about, which is exactly what you need to move the needle. On the link building side, it won't just be fluffy, vacuous content. It will be a mix of some lifestyle, just for variation, data-driven links, which will lean into the research and the assets that we create through PR, and it will be comparison pages. So looking at different services, reviews of the business, review of the brands. Things are changing. You used to kind of avoid content that's too promotional. I think it needs to move more towards that now, so that these crawler bots are seeing these pages where websites are actively reviewing and talking about your product and demonstrating success or popularity or a positive experience, brand sentiment, basically, and all that feeds into Google's algorithm. If you'd like to have a more in-depth talk about your current position, what we're doing with your current campaigns, how we should move you towards this authority product, and the elements that we're going to bring in, please let Jack or Yasmin or Grace know at your earliest convenience, and we can book a group call. From a staffing perspective, we are hiring really smart people. So I've got Danny, who's head of content, very knowledgeable, came to these events with me. I've got Cody, who's a head of technical, who starts next Monday. He's going to be absolutely brilliant at assessing technical optimizations and making sure your data and your content is all structured for, your vectors and your semantics and your algorithms, all the stuff you don't need to know, but we know, to make sure that your site is properly optimized and your housekeeping is in good order. And then you've still got all your good account management. If you want time with me to talk about link building and strategy, I'm available. And I've got a very smart team of digital PR experts who are building relationships with journalists within your space, and will lean on things like newsjacking, the news agenda, and thought leadership pieces to position spokespeople within your business as experts, and earned link building, which is where we open doors with big media through data sets, studies, surveys, whatever it might be. And we would lean into that asset, that data that we would harvest for you, for very, very good quality link building as well. Anyway, I hope that's useful. Don't panic. Yes, things are changing. We've got it all under control. We've got a really good product which is ready to go. There's different ranges in terms of budgets, but it allows you to get really good middle tier links done in a sensible, smart way with value, very, very powerful digital PR coverage, and all the technical bits and pieces you need just to make sure that the whole machine works and delivers the results that you're looking for. Anyway, speak soon. We're available. Be in touch. All the best.